Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot and Astrology, but no astrology today. I'll be using cards, and I just want to say hi first and let you know what I'm going to read on. It's going to be an update. I want to check into Ted Cruz, look into his political future, legal future actually, as well, based on the fact that Jack Smith wants those 90 audio recordings that Abby Grossberg has on the insurrection. I think that might affect him. So, and several others as well, if not more than several. But anyhow, let me swap out cameras here, bring over my table. Be right back. All right, so I'm using Ciro Marchetti's Kipper, and I have the cards mixed really well. I just have to settle in and get Ted Cruz into the... Well, my intentions there halfway, but I wasn't really settled, so I'm settling in. Asking for only the truth. What is coming down the pike for Ted Cruz legally? And I have my Jack Smith card assigned and my Merrick Garland card and J6 committee, J6 report, things like that. So let's see. Now I'm thinking I do need to assign a card for Abby Grossman. So if the woman card comes through, that is the main woman. That has to be Ted Cruz's wife. But if the younger female or older female, because she's kind of in between, I don't really know how old she is, but take either one of those as her. All right, here, okay. Ooh, so his lies and deceit are going to be a new problem for him. It's going to create at least a down patch or some bad health. I can't imagine that guy's very healthy. An investigation, and this would be the people who have been loyal to him and their poverty consciousness they're coming from. That would be Merrick Garland and the investigation. Okay, so Ted Cruz, this is going to affect you. Ooh, they're going to go back and back. Ooh. Back and back and back over all the communications. That is not going to be good for him. Okay, so now this would have to be Ted Cruz's wife. That's interesting. All right, here's my Jack Smith card. This could be Abby Grossman. Well. Okay, so the documents, videos, recordings, all forms of communication is right here at the heart of the reading. And it knights up to some new discovery here, and then maybe this poverty card is coming from the poverty consciousness that these guys, the guys that participated in the insurrection, that's where they're coming from. You know, they're coming from a very limited perspective. Then again, with Merrick Garland right here looking at this, it could be that in the past, I'll read the four corners and get that framed in a second, but in the past it's very possible that he didn't have everything he needed. And it's also possible that, because I've gotten this before, that Jack Smith and Merrick Garland, notice how two of them frame up the whole reading. They've been looking into all the transnational, money laundering crime syndicate. So there's that. Now, as far as how it's going to affect Ted Cruz, he very well could be locked up or at least restricted. He's already terribly locked up and restricted in the prison of his own body for all the reasons we could imagine. And who has been supplying these communications that are relevant to the investigation is, or are, well, it's everyone who has been working with coming under, usually this is my teamwork card, but I'm feeling now this has to do with the meetings that Merrick Garland, and we could say his team, have had. Now, why Ted Cruz's wife comes in here, I think is because she's really stressed out and worried. And it's very possible because, you when you're trying to figure out more information about the person, you go to the cards around. Well, she has an authority over her. She's coming from poverty consciousness. She has a crap ton of negative karma, and yes, that's a measurable amount. But I don't know what it is. I'm guessing here by these cards that it has to do with her loyalties and her wanting to stay on top of her reputation, if she even has one. Anybody married to Ted Cruz has just got to be so okay with the creepy, I can't even imagine. So anyway, that's just another side note, and especially as into his future. What's sneaking up behind her, and this affects him, is a very, painful ending, and it knights to Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland's up here in control and can end Ted Cruz's happiness and put him in this place of despair. So let me go with the four corners here. So this would be Jack Smith with a lot of spies. That's what I just heard there with that card. I've never heard that before. Jack Smith with a lot of spies and Merrick Garland, and they've been working deeply in this investigation together. It's going to level Ted Cruz in a whole new way because they have something. Well, they have all this new information from, the information's here, the videos are here, the recordings are here, text messages, they've had all that, but they're getting more from Abby Grossman, and I think this is her here. And she has bonded in partnership with this investigation in a way that's really important to her. And it's been developing for a long time. Her issue with Fox News had been developing for a long time. And I'm not focusing on, Tuckums, but of course that's part of the problem. See what happens, when you think about it. It's like you treat, or just imagine these people that, treat others terribly, and you never know where it might lead or where the, where you might get bit from the karma that you create. And of course that card's here. This is, thank you, Jeffrey Thompson, for telling me this is the karma card. So yeah, and it's hanging over Abby Grossberg because she should have come forward a lot sooner. But she was in it because of the money, making a very good salary. But then, when push came to shove and the defamation lawsuit from Dominion, and then of course she knows that the other one's coming up, Smartmatics is coming up right behind her. She had to get out while the getting was good. And who knows, maybe because she came down here at the bottom, all these cards weighing down on her. So it's very possible she's trying to salvage her reputation. She's been in bed with the wrong people, basically. And she's looking forward to restriction. And Jack Smith is right there with a lot of spies who they know what's going on. They know they've been developing, things have been developing, and they know what's going on. So I think this is pulling in a lot of different pieces of other people, even though I did not assign anyone other than Ted Cruz, Merrick Garland, and Jack Smith. But I feel like it could be a story that could be applied to anyone who was supporting the insurrection and yeah. And we know, Tucker Carlson is not, I didn't focus in on him at all when I did this spread, but, of course we know that he's involved with money laundering and foreign, what's his name? Viktor Orban is his friend. What? So I think it's more about the Nazi, that type of mindset. So these three cards here are really important because the spying has brought up new evidence that will level Ted Cruz. So, and I know I said that once already, but I really feel like this is the main story here. And the investigation into all the loyal parties who stuck together in the past, I think it's going to be very challenging. But it might be that for a while, well, actually, it could be that in the past, because I tend to read the past as the other, well, not really, because this is Merrick Garland going in this direction. Okay, well, it's a couple of things, or it could be a couple of things. So it could be, one thing could be that he doesn't yet have enough, but he will in the future to make a very bad situation happen for Ted Cruz, or which could even land him in jail. But it could also be that, like I said, the money laundering crime ring, because if we take karma out of this card and just look at the image and you think of people laboring, this little guy can't make ends meet. This person has a job, but it's like slave labor, right? But there's so much here about Ted Cruz's wife. Wow. Now, when it comes to Jack Smith down here, let me focus on the four corners. So, like I said, Jack Smith has a lot of spies. Merrick Garland is there, I think, trying to get more. That's what it is. Merrick Garland wants more. Jack Smith feels like he's got enough. Merrick Garland wants more so that he can end all of these people. He's trying to get everyone involved in the wheels of karma here. Everyone, because his reputation is one thing that he cares about. You remember, he said without fear or favor. And for Ted Cruz, though, see, here's the cool thing. We have people that have been spying on him and people that he cannot trust. And then we have Jack Smith, who's who's got the weight down on him. All of these cards are, kind of backing him up. He's been restricted. But he has a solid bond, I think, now with Abby Grossman after the conversations he's had with her. All of this right here, that's been developing. And with, in regards to Ted Cruz, I don't think he's sleeping well. I think he's going to be going through the darkest night of the soul anybody could go through, and he deserves it. Not that we don't, I mean, to go through the dark night of the soul, I think is a very good thing. You just have to know how to handle it. Otherwise, it can be devastating, and I'm sure he doesn't know how. So, basically, you know, you have to come clean with your soul. You go to your spirit, and you have to do your soul work to clean it up so that your spirit can shine through you. But Ted Cruz is not doing any of that work. So this card is a card in the worst case scenario of just being tortured with, you know, just so much stress, demands put upon him. Probably drinking and maybe even drugs, maybe drugs to go to sleep at night, probably waking up with nightmares. It's a card of, you know, self-sabotage, self-destruction, self-sabotage. And his wife isn't, his wife is coming down on him, but it's not good for her either. None of this is, so they're both having major problems. So, you know, we do have the jail card, we do have the incarceration imprisonment card here, and it does knight up here to the health, to the bad health. So it could be where, this is where Jack Smith is leading with it and trying to get, trying to develop he's trying to get everyone in. Now, sometimes when it comes to timing, what can take a couple of years lies in this direction. To have the sudden wealth and the great fortune card together on top of Jack Smith tells me that he has everything he needs, and a lot more new evidence came in. And what could take a couple of years is this painful loss and karmic ending for Ted Cruz and his wife. So we're going to have to hang in there is what I'm getting. Or this card is nothing about timing at all, and this is just, you know, all about the development, because that's what the pathway card is all about. It has everything to do with needing patience, something that people are very persistent with, and what's been persistent has been getting a lot of new details, right? And Ted just isn't going to be able to hang with it. This is like our Four of Swords, you know. So here we have, in Tarot, imagine we have the Four of Swords and the Death card right here. Big changes, big painful loss, and he might not live through it, is the thing. Especially when you have this knighting going here. Knighting is 1 over and 2 up, or 2 over and 1 down, so, right? It's all right here. Yeah, like spies in the camp. Whew. All right, well, that's it. I'm going to get this uploaded for you. I hope you guys are having a really good weekend. Bye.